Consistently, a large number of individuals set goals to change their lives, yet practically 80% of us will have abandoned those goals by February. It's not just about an absence of resolve or assets. It's frequently in light of the fact that our own propensities quietly direct our everyday activities and, at last, our fates. Today, we're plunging deep into the core of what holds us back from accomplishing the lives we long for and how adopting the timeless wisdom of emotionlessness can not only address your habits, but can actually change your whole approach to life. Emotionlessness helps us to zero in on what we have some control over and let go of what we can't, a solid mentality that is particularly vital while attempting to break free from the habits that keep us down. So, assuming you're ready to assume command over your actions and align your day-to-day habits to your deepest values, keep close by. Together, we'll explore how to harness your inner strength and cultivate a life of direction and serenity. This isn't just about breaking unhealthy behavior patterns, it's about building a life where peace and progress coincide. Habit number 1, remember to hit that subscribe button. Your support allows us to continue bringing groundbreaking content like this to you. And remember, you're not the majority, you're the exception, so make sure you watch all parts of this video to glean the unique insights that can truly elevate your life. It's extraordinarily easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of things that are unchangeable to us. While you're laying there at night, your mind racing with all kinds of uncertainties about events that haven't happened yet, or that you can't change, like worrying about the future of your work, the economy, or even fretting over others' opinions. It's exhausting and frankly, draining. This habit of preoccupation with uncontrollable factors isn't just a thief of joy but also of our precious time. Emotionlessness teaches us the art of detachment, recognizing what is in our control and what isn't. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius or Seneca, remind us that while we have zero control over external events, we have some control over our reactions to them. They urge us to direct our efforts and focus only on our own choices, decisions, and perspectives. So, instead of spending hours worrying about the next big storm or a friend's perspective, emotionlessness nudges us to ask, what could I ever truly do about this situation? Often, the answer is to prepare instead of panic. If it's a storm, we can fortify our homes as best as we can. If it's perspectives, we can work on being true to ourselves and acting with integrity. By shifting our focus from what's none of our concern to what we can influence, we not only regain a sense of control but also become more effective and calm. This indifferent practice doesn't just reduce stress, it increases our capacity for resilience, enabling us to handle challenges with elegance and poise. It's about embracing what we can change and finding reconciliation with what we can't, which isn't just wise but also incredibly empowering. Remember, every moment spent worrying about the uncontrollable is a moment lost, moments that could be invested in actions that improve our lives and the lives of others. Harness this unemotional wisdom and watch your life transform from a series of worries about the unknown to a more focused, deliberate, and peaceful journey. Habit number 2, by being selective with our commitments, we create space in our lives for activities that are truly enriching and aligned with our personal and professional growth. This doesn't mean we become rigid and inflexible, but rather that we learn to say no with the same conviction with which we say yes. This intentional approach not only reduces stress but also allows us to give our best where it truly matters. Managing our commitments wisely is a form of self-respect. It shows that we value our own resources, time, energy, focus, and are unwilling to squander them. As Stoics, we strive to live deliberately, making decisions that reflect our philosophy of life. Every yes and no is a statement of our priorities and a practice in mindful living. It's that intimately familiar habit of putting things off until later, often just because we're not feeling in the mood to tackle them now. It seems harmless at first, after all, isn't there always more time? But as deadlines draw closer, the pressure mounts, and suddenly, what could have been a manageable task turns into a frantic race against the clock. It's not just about missing deadlines. Procrastination can erode our confidence and hinder us from realizing our full potential. The Stoics were adamant about doing what needs to be done when it needs to be done because they understood the value of the present moment, the only moment we truly have control over. Marcus Aurelius often emphasized the importance of action. He believed in seizing the opportunity and using it wisely, not wasting it on trivialities or delaying essential actions. Procrastination is simply a misalignment of our actions with our true intentions. It's a contradiction between what we intend to do and what we actually do. The Stoic way to combat this is straightforward: align your actions with your rational judgment. This means that when you decide something needs to be done, the next step is to start. Just action breeds more action. By initiating even the smallest task related to your goal, you create momentum, making it easier to continue. Another Stoic approach is to break tasks into smaller, more manageable parts. Seneca advised focusing on the present task only, without being overwhelmed by the entire project. By breaking a daunting task into smaller pieces, each step becomes less intimidating and more actionable. This approach reduces the anxiety that often triggers procrastination. Emotionlessness teaches acceptance of discomfort. The discomfort of starting a challenging task often fuels procrastination. By accepting that some discomfort is part of the process and pushing through it, you regain control over your actions. This is where the Stoic practice of voluntary discomfort can be particularly beneficial. It trains you to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, making you more resilient and proactive. Dealing with procrastination is about embracing the Stoic virtues of discipline and courage, the discipline to do what is necessary even when it is unpleasant, and the courage to start without certainty of success. Every moment you choose action over delay, you are not only moving closer to your goals but also cultivating a stronger, more focused character. Isn't it strange how often we put our own well-being on hold? Whether it's skipping meals to meet a deadline, sacrificing sleep to binge-watch a series, or neglecting exercise because our schedule is too packed, disregarding self-care has almost become the norm in our hustle culture. But at what cost? This habit of constantly putting ourselves last can lead to a host of health issues, both mental and physical, and diminishes our overall quality of life. Emotionlessness places a significant emphasis on self-care. Contrary to some misconceptions, Stoics aren't about denying pleasure or enduring hardship needlessly. They believe in maintaining a healthy mind and body to perform one's duties effectively. The philosopher Epictetus remarked that it is foolish to expect your affairs to go well but not your body, highlighting that good health is a form of duty to oneself. In Stoic terms, neglecting self-care is akin to neglecting your role in the universe. Each of us has obligations to others and ourselves. When we fail to care for our own needs, we diminish our ability to fulfill those obligations effectively. Taking care of oneself isn't just about personal health, it's about empowering ourselves to positively contribute to our world. So, how do we weave self-care into our daily routines? It starts with recognizing that self-care isn't selfish, it's essential. This means setting boundaries and saying no when additional commitments threaten to overwhelm our capacity to care for ourselves. It involves prioritizing activities that nourish us physically, mentally, and spiritually. Whether it's taking 20 minutes to meditate, going for a walk, or ensuring we get enough sleep, these aren't luxuries, they are necessities. Emotionlessness advocates the practice of reflection, which can be a valuable tool for self-care. By regularly reflecting on our day, our feelings, and our reactions, we can identify areas where we may neglect our well-being. This reflective practice helps us stay aligned with our core values, ensuring that our actions and choices promote health and vitality. Integrating self-care into your life is about creating a balanced approach to daily living that respects your human limitations and values your worth. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. By taking care of yourself, you ensure that you have the energy, health, and peace of mind to face whatever challenges come your way and live according to your principles. It's all too common to find ourselves either chained to the memories of the past or lost in the fantasies of the future, isn't it? While reminiscing about good times or planning for a brighter tomorrow isn't inherently harmful, obsessively living in either time can deprive us of genuine happiness and fulfillment in our present moments. When we're constantly elsewhere in our minds, life, beautiful, fleeting life, simply passes us by. Emotionlessness, an ancient philosophy that has seen a resurgence in modern times, teaches us the valuable skill of presence. Stoics believe that the present is the only reality we can truly influence and experience. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of focusing on the present task and disconnecting from past and future events that distract from our immediate duties and joys. Now, you might ask, how does one practice being present? It begins with mindfulness, being aware of when your mind wanders into the past or jumps ahead to the future. When you catch yourself doing this, gently guide your focus back to the now. This isn't about suppression or denial of your thoughts, but rather redirecting them in a way that grounds you in the present moment. Meditation and mindfulness are tools that can enhance our ability to stay present. These practices train us to observe our thoughts and emotions without attachment, allowing us to experience the present moment fully. They aren't just trendy techniques but are practical, Stoic exercises that strengthen our mental resilience and focus. Embracing the present also involves appreciating the little things. It's about noticing the warmth of the sun on your skin, the taste of your morning coffee, the laughter of a loved one, experiences that are easy to overlook when your mind is elsewhere. How often do we find ourselves trapped in a spiral of negative self-talk? It's incredibly easy to become our own harshest critic, isn't it? This could manifest as a small voice inside your head whispering, "You're not good enough," or as a mental replay of mistakes every time. Engaging in harmful self-talk not only undermines our confidence but also affects our ability to pursue and achieve our goals. It's a habit that feeds doubt and insecurity, holding us back from realizing our full potential. Emotionlessness, a philosophy that teaches mastery over one's thoughts and emotions, offers a potent antidote to this destructive habit. Stoics believe in the concept of rationality and control over one's inner dialogue. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, argued that it's not events themselves that disturb people but their judgments about them. This insight is particularly valuable when dealing with negative self-talk. It suggests that by changing our judgments, we can change our personal responses. To start changing this habit, first become aware of your inner dialogue. Notice when you are being self-critical and what you are saying to yourself. Is it something you would ever tell a friend? Often, the answer is no. Emotionlessness teaches us to treat ourselves with the same compassion and understanding that we would extend to others. By acknowledging that these harsh self-responses are neither helpful nor constructive, we can begin to challenge and change them. Adopting a more Stoic approach involves reframing these negative thoughts. For example, instead of telling yourself, "I always mess up," you could say, "I made a mistake this time, but I can learn from it." This isn't about denying your feelings or mistakes but about addressing them in a more constructive and compassionate manner. It's about directing yourself towards progress and growth without the burden of unnecessary self-judgment. Furthermore, emotionlessness encourages the practice of self-reflection, which can be a valuable tool in combating negative self-talk. Regular reflection helps you understand your thoughts and behaviors better, enabling you to identify patterns of negativity. With this understanding, you can actively work towards shifting towards more positive and supportive self-talk. Change, it's inevitable, isn't it? But for most of us, the very idea of change can be daunting. It brings uncertainty, the unknown, and often a fair amount of discomfort. However, avoiding change is like trying to stop the seasons from shifting. It's not only futile but also denies us of new experiences and learning opportunities. After all, if everything remained constant, where would the space for growth or excitement be? Emotionlessness teaches us not only to accept change but to welcome it as a natural part of life. Stoics like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius emphasized the impermanence of all things and urged us to adapt to changing conditions with grace and self-control. They believed that our reactions to change, rather than change itself, are within our control. This perspective is incredibly liberating because it shifts the focus from fearing change to managing our response to it. One way to start becoming more comfortable with change is to reframe the way we view it. Instead of seeing change as a threat, we can view it as an opportunity to test our resilience and adaptability, key virtues in emotionlessness. Each new situation is a lesson in disguise, offering us the chance to practice patience, determination, and perhaps above all, courage. Furthermore, emotionlessness teaches us to anticipate change not as a worrier would but in a proactive, forward-thinking way. This practice, known as premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, involves envisioning potential challenges and losses as a way to prepare oneself mentally.